Hey, it's another week of the Knudson Garden Update. This is the first garden update of 2021, and we've got some really cool things going on in the garden right now. We're going to take care of some luffa, and we're going to look at evidence of some of the residents in our garden and the complex ecosystem that is developed here. And the first thing that we are going to look at is our luffas. So let's take a look. We've harvested them, so let's see what they're looking like. So this is what our luffa patch was, and we've cleared it all out. And now we have some luffas. For those of you who don't know where luffas come from, this is what they look like when you pick them off of the vine. And as you can see here, when you take off the husk, you're left with the luffa sponge in the middle. So in order to get the rest of this tough husk off, we're going to take them and we're going to put them in some water. So these that are all wrinkly and kind of brown, we're going to take them into my classroom. And we're going to soak them in some water for a little while. And then we're going to peel off the husk and rinse them out and get them drying so that we can then use luffa sponges in our classroom and maybe even sell some for some money. All right, here we are in my classroom. And we've got our luffas, and they're pretty light, they're pretty dry. When they're green, they're kind of heavier, but once they start to get brown and wrinkled, they are ready to bring in. And you want to peel the skin off. Now, you can, when they're dry like this, sometimes the skin will just crack, and you can just peel it off here. So that's what we're going to do here with this guy. You can see that we've got this fibrous interior. Here, let me put my phone down and peel it off so you can take a look. All right, it's peeled a little better now. You can see that it's this really fibrous interior that would be really good for scrubbing things. But we still need to wash it, and we still need to get it dried. And some of these, they're going to be a little more difficult to peel open. We can kind of crack them open. And here we go. Peel away some of this exocarp from our gourd. But it's probably going to be a little easier if we let them soak for a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill this tub up with water. We're going to let them soak for a while, and then we'll see if we can't get this skin off a little easier. All right. Once you've removed the exocarp, you've got this nice luffa sponge that's still pretty sappy, pretty goopy. It's got a lot of juice. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it over to a sink, and we're going to rinse it off. And one thing hopefully we're going to do is get some of the seeds out, because just like any fruit, and luffas are fruits, they have seeds on the inside. So we're going to see if we can get some of these seeds out and clean some of this goopy stuff off of here so that we can dry it and make it into a nice usable luffa sponge. Very cool. All right, we've got some luffas that we have peeled, and they are ready to get washed. So we're just going to pressure wash them. And you can see there's a lot of junk inside of a luffa. You can also see the seeds are starting to come out. All right? Now normally when a luffa seed is mature, it's black. But we're not really growing these for seeds. We might keep some. You can also see that there's probably some surfactant inside of the luffa. The surfactant is a type of chemical that can make bubbles. Alright? So I'm just going to keep washing these out here, seeing if we can clean out some of this goopy sap from inside of our luffa before we start setting them out to dry. So here's a better view of the seeds. Loofahs are very closely related to cucumbers and to zucchinis and even pumpkins. You can see these are the seeds, and the inside is just a lot like any other cucurbit. This is what they are. They grow these big seeds on the inside, and we're going to try and get these seeds and all the rest of the goop out. I'll just kind of squeeze it here, get a little more creaming. All right, so here are our cleaned loofahs. They're ready to start drying. I think I might put them in a little solution of bleach, get some of those brown spots out of them. But there they are. They're ready to start using for all kinds of things. So pretty cool, things we can grow in our garden. But these loofahs remind me of something else that I saw in the garden and something you've probably seen before too. So let's go out and take a look. All right, so I've got this loofah here, and it is a fruit, and you can see it even has an extra seed that I didn't quite get out of it. But it reminded me of something that I've noticed here in our nasty little jujube tree that looks a lot like a loofah. You know what this is? These are the eggs from a praying mantis. And wait a minute, they look a lot like the loofah, which also houses eggs, although one is from a plant and one is obviously from an insect. But this is a really cool thing. In nature, we see this sometimes, where similar structures appear independent of each other, but we see them because they work. So there's something about this honeycomb-like structure that is good both for the praying mantis and for the loofah. They protect seeds, or in this case, eggs. All right, so really cool. Praying mantises do live in our garden ecosystem, and thankfully we have them because they eat insects that would otherwise eat our crops. So we definitely like our praying mantises, and we hope that we can see another praying mantis here in the spring. It looks like some of these might have hatched out already or maybe been eaten, but hopefully when it starts to get warmer, we'll get more praying mantises hatching out of their eggs and munching on the insects in our garden. All right, I want to follow up on some other things growing here in our garden. You voted for some of these. You might recognize what they are. This is some cilantro that is growing. Seemed to be very popular in the voting. So we've got our cilantro going here, and we've got some strawberries that Farmer Rosalie had planted here, and hopefully they come to life. Strawberries are very popular, it seems, with students. So we've got some strawberries here. Looks like our calendula is flowering and enjoying this cooler weather. And we're gonna head over here next to a tree that's not exactly inside of our garden, but it's one that you guys walk past every day. So we're gonna see what's going on over there at our olive tree. All right, another thing about our school, and you might have seen this on your way into school. A lot of you walk past this olive tree on your way into school every day, or at least you would, coming here from Atlantic and Sahara. You can see that our olive tree is full of olives, and we can pick them and take a look. They're pretty cool black olives. So what you want to do with olives is you take them and you brine them in salt water for a long time, and then you eat them up. So olives, it turns out, are really resilient. They like the desert heat. They're not necessarily native to southern Nevada, but we've got one here at our school, and all kinds of things that you can use from olives, including, of course, olive oil, which we use to make soap, and which we can also use to help make luffa soap, which hopefully we can do in the fall. So, pretty cool. We've got this olive tree. It is chock full of olives that you didn't know. You walk past one every single day on your way into school. So that wraps up another edition of our Knudson Garden Update, the first garden update of 2021. We processed some loofahs, we looked at some praying mantis eggs and some cilantro growing in our garden and strawberries, and we also looked at some olives growing just outside of the school garden, but which a lot of you walked by every day. The olives are ripe and I picked some. So we'll see you next time. Stay safe, keep your hands washed, stay home, and if you have to go outside, wear a mask. There we go. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Uh-huh.